Greetings, 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 good people. I am back. If you are new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Welcome to another episode of the WTF show. And the WTF stands for What the Friday, okay? So every Friday, usually, all right, I combine a whole bunch of shenanigans that's been happening all week and talk about them a little bit more in depth, all right? As you're coming in, please, please, please pay your admission fee by hitting the like button. Also, drop down in the comments and be sure to share your thoughts during the broadcast. Wendy Williams is on the lineup, okay? I don't know if you guys got an opportunity to watch the Breakfast Club interview with Tyson Beckford. He had some interesting things to say about Wendy Williams, and Wendy Williams' lawyer is speaking out. We're going to get into that clip. Chloe Bailey, she's speaking out pretty much about the industry and talking about the industry. Nothing that most of us haven't already heard. Oh boy, basketball wives drama alert. Chantel, which is Jackie Christie's daughter, she's going at it with her half sister. Do people still say half sister? You know, if you have the same mother, different father, or same father, different mother, do you say half sister or you just say sister or brother? Anyway, Takari Lee is Jackie's oldest child. She is going back and forth, Chantel, that is, with her sister. Takari did a interview recently on the YouTube channel Make It Make Sense, Mims. You guys know him as Mims. And it was very interesting. I didn't get to watch it in its entirety, and I will circle back and finish. So that's going on. We got Taraji P. Henson. She's tired of people. And she talks about briefly in an interview about cutting people off. And we got some other hot topics sprinkled in between. Like I said, as you are rolling in, pay your admission fee, please, by hitting the like button. All right, let's get straight into it, guys. So earlier this week, well, not even this week, I think it was last week, but anyway, earlier this week, the T app was trending. Okay, I did talk about it in a hot topics video this week. It's pretty much a app for women only, and it is for women to have a safe space to pretty much expose men. I'm gonna keep it real, okay? They can post pictures of men in their area and give some information about these men, kind of like a warning signal to other ladies. The positive side of this is that background checks can be run on some of these men. Again, their photos can be uploaded, and other women can pretty much be warned about shenanigans with these men, right? Seemed like a good idea. I was skeptical about it. I was 50-50 on the this T app. Because what if a disgruntled ex decides to lie and defame someone on the app? How would that person know that they're being defamed? How would that man know that they're being defamed if it's for women only? But then again, on the flip side of that, I also see this being something good, because some women are not safe out. Women are not safe out here in these streets. I'm gonna just keep it real, okay? So this is something that can kind of safeguard the whole dating scene and warn other women, so on and so forth. Kind of like a Carfax report, if you will. Well, it was short-lived, honey. Grand opening, grand closing, because the T app has been breached and hackers have leaked 72,000 photos, including women's IDs and selfies. So let's get into this, courtesy of Baller Alert on Instagram. The T app, which quickly became the top free app in the App Store for offering women a safe space to share experiences about men, has just suffered a massive privacy breach, one that could impact tens of thousands of its users. This is crazy. So on Friday, today, a T spokesperson confirmed that the app had been hacked and the damage is severe. According to the company, 72,000 images, including over 13,000 government IDs and verification selfies, were accessed and likely leaked. Wow, that's crazy. These are photos the app collects when users sign in, requiring women to verify their identity by uploading a selfie. So the app, which was designed to act as a virtual whisper network for women, could flag men as red or green flags, had been celebrated as a breakthrough tool for online safety. And again, this is something that could be used as a tool of safety. But again, you always have one or two or a dozen or thousands of people that ruin it for everyone else. So basically, when you sign up for this app, right, you create a username You can sign in with Google or Facebook and you create a username. And then the app proceeds to ask you to take a selfie to verify if you are a woman or not, right? But some people were uploading copies of their driver's license. Mercy, y'all. Look at this. Say Cheese TV via IG posts. Turns out the T app has god awful security. All its verification photos and driver's licenses got leaked by the hacker known as 4chan. But the app does not ask you to upload a copy of your driver's license. Look at some of these images. This is crazy. And some of the comments were funny because a lot of people were saying that their selfie was a mess. Their identification selfie was a mess, hair all over the place. They just wanted to get on the app. And then you're also put on a waiting list. Once you take your selfie, you put on a waiting list, and it can take up to 2 hours or longer. And once everything is verified, I guess, you get a notification that you've been accepted on the app. But like I said, the people who were uploading, look at this reverse Uno card. The people that were uploading their driver's license, y'all wild for that, because nowhere on it does it state that you have to upload a government ID or an ID. You literally just take a selfie with your phone. This is absolutely crazy. So a lot of people think that this is funny. I don't, because this is crazy. I don't know what the hacker is going to do with all this information. Maybe you have to like kind of report this. I don't know. Could this be a class action lawsuit? I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to get it fixed, and they're probably going to beef up security, and people are still going to continue to use the app. I want to get on there and I want to see what's tea, to be honest with you. No pun intended. All right, up next, Chloe Bailey, okay? So Chloe Bailey, she basically took to her TikTok. She went on TikTok Live, and she discussed how she felt the movie Sinners mirrored the music industry. And she also talked about how she cried for over an hour. And she says, no matter, in this, not in this clip, but in the TikTok Live, she says, no matter how nice and talented you are, sometimes that's not enough. Now, we have heard many, many, many entertainers speak out about the music industry. We've seen many documentaries. We've seen many behind the musics. What's the one on TV one? Unsongs. We've seen many, many documentaries and many accounts from people in the industry, musicians, producers, so on and so forth, that talk about how demonic, for lack of a better word, dangerous even, the music industry is. But let's listen to Chloe Bailey give her comparison to Sinners and the music industry. Like to hear it? Here you go.
Sinners, yes, I saw Sinners. It was phenomenal. I absolutely freaking loved it. Can I be honest? After Sinners, I cried. Do you want to know why I cried? Yes or no? Or you're just like, Chloe, you cried because you're a crybaby. Just tell me. Okay, so I think anyone who, it just reminds you so much of the industry, right? And it's like you could have a gift like he did with his guitar, and like they said, when he's singing, he's honoring his ancestors and uplifting and all of that, but then it also attracts the not good. So it's like, in order for him to be successful, the vampires were telling him he has to sell out so that he could be, so that he could live forever and his music could live forever. And it's exactly like things that I see and go through every day. And that's why I just like broke down crying, because it was showing like the people who decided not to go to the other side. They were in there fighting for their lives. They were in there going through it. While the ones who did give in, they were outside celebrating and having a good time and got things quicker and things like that. So the reason why Sinners resonated with me so much is because it's something that you see every day. And no matter how hard you work, no matter how good of a person that you are, no matter how talented you are, sometimes that's not enough to get you places that you need to be. And that's why Sinners, like, I was crying right after, because I feel like anyone in the industry could really resonate with it. And it also showed that what you have to give negativity permission to be inside. And as long as you don't invite it in, you'll be okay and safe. So that's why I really resonated with Sinners, and I thought it was so beautiful. I thought it was done so beautifully, and I'm just really proud of everyone who was a part of it. And I even cried when he was singing in the bar, and you see all the different, you know, the history, all of the ancestors that came before us, that he wouldn't have been there to make music and play his guitar without the ones that came before him. So I feel like anyone who has a gift and has something that they truly, truly love, but feels like it's not coming to them in the time that they want it because they're moving in the right ways where they don't like give in, it's harder. And then you have like so many things tempting around you, like the vampire. So it was so deep. It was so deep. That's the reason I cried for like a whole hour after. And then the one thing, tell me what you thought. The one thing that I couldn't figure out.
So that's where it ends. You know, she's not the first, and I don't think she's going to be the last to make reference to some of the unsatisfactory things that take place in the music industry. And here's my thoughts, right? It doesn't matter how talented you are, how nice you. I agree with her. How nice you are. That's in real life too. It doesn't matter how nice you are or how kind or authentic you are. If you are trying to utilize or exercise or express, that's a better word, your talents, your kindness in the wrong arenas, then you're just going to think, you know, you're going to, some people internalize that and think, oh, maybe there's something wrong with me. But you have to understand your audience and you have to understand your arena. And this doesn't just go for the music industry, just this goes for life, period. You know, if you're kind, but you're kind to the wrong people, like I said, you can internalize that. Some people internalize that and think that there's something wrong with them. But, you know, people who are emotionally intelligent realize, wait a minute, this ain't my crowd. So it sucks because her and her sister are wildly talented. And it seems like they're not at the top like a lot of the untalented entertainers that a lot of people have made famous, you know. And it just causes me to wonder, do people really care about talent? I hear people all the time talk about R&B is dead, R&B is dead. But then you have these two powerhouse sisters who make really good music, but no one cares. Maybe it's because there's no scandal attached to them, or maybe it's because they're not raunchy enough. You know, I remember the video that Chloe did, Have Mercy, I think it's called. I liked the song, but when I watched the video, it was just like, ooh, this is so eerie. Like, is she turning over to the other side? And then it's like she just became extremely like overly sexualized in a lot of her visuals. And it just made me wonder, like, does she have to do this? I don't know. Both these sisters, Chloe and her sister, are talented. I'm talking about they can produce beats. They play instruments. They write music. They sing music. They read music. But it's like they haven't gone to the heights of many other mainstream artists who, in my opinion, are not talented whatsoever. Did you guys see Sinners? I didn't. Is her comparison like on point? Let me know. Drop down in the comments. All right. Damn, Gina. Okay. Look at Gina. We will always call her Gina. I wonder if she gets tired of that. Too bad. You're the reason why the show's not on anymore. Anyway, look at this video. This is a video that was uploaded on social media of her trying to prepare herself for her outing, and she's trying to comb the curls out of her hair because she says that the wig just reminds her of Gina. Like the head? Here you go. Oh my God, girl, you sitting up here
Look at it. It's not bad. It is. It looks like Gina. Look at it. Look at the flip. I don't want to look like Gina. Oh, it looks like the Gina flip. I am panicking,
This might be
bitch.
good for what you gotta do today.
No, this is not. Look at the flip.
Y'all remember this? This when Biggie was on the this episode of Martin.
Bitch, I'm giving it up. Turn that off. It looks like Gina.
You are Gina, dummy. And like I said, you the reason why the show ain't on no more. Partially. I can't blame her 100%. But you look like Gina because you are Gina. Applehead. Anyway, she looked like she's going to like the White House or something like that. Or like she's the first lady. I like this look on her. Like the dress is nice. It's age appropriate. I can understand the hard curls in the hair. But rock it. People will recognize you. You look like Gina because you are Gina, dummy. Anyway. Moving along. Okay, so first of all, I think this podcast idea with ERIKA Alexander and what is her name? Kim Coles. Regine and Maxine Shaw. Not Regine, Sinclair and Maxine Shaw. They have a podcast, Reliving Single, and I thought that this was genius. I've seen like half of an episode, and I did see this clip. So she gets emotional because TC CARSON, Kyle Barker, was on the show, and she got emotional and just gave him his flowers and talked about how much she missed him and appreciated him while they were basically comedy partners. So let's take a look and listen at what Maxine Shaw, attorney at law, had to say. Like to hear it? Here you go.
I missed you.
Aww.
You were my comedy partner.
She looks amazing.
Yes.
And so doing things without you was weird.
Come on here,
Yeah.
Because I actually didn't even know how to be Max without you. You know, like it's part of her, the architecture of Max exists inside of a conversation and a duel with a man named TC CARSON, who's playing Kyle. And it was like somebody might have just like take your twin, rip your soul out of you, and then say, go. And more importantly, as my comedy partner, like Fred Astaire needs his ginger, I just want to let you know that you were the best partner, comedy partner I could ever have. And the fact that we are star-crossed in November 19th.
Oh, it's too many things.
It's too many things.
It's too many similarities.
So I just want to let you know, thank you for being that partner for me. And more importantly, our love and our brother. That you are outstanding and you continue to be.
I thought that was so stinking sweet. First of all, okay, ERIKA Alexander looks phenomenal, and so does TC CARSON. That's that good black, okay? Good black don't crack. And I like the fact that she took this opportunity to really express her love and appreciation. It's probably not the first time, but understand what she means. See, this is my level of melodrama. Not to negate her feelings, because I understand what she said. Like when he decided to leave the show, I forgot the reason why he left the show, but he stood up for himself. It's something along the lines of him standing up for himself, and good for him. And he had to do what was best for him. But I can understand forging a relationship with someone who you bounce off of, on the show. Sidebar. This and Martin, these two shows were, when I say still to this day, I feel like they were perfectly casted. Oh my God. So much so that I still see them as Max and Kyle. I mean, that's how much of an impact these two shows in particular had. But I think Martin was perfectly casted, and I think Living Single was perfect. When I say like just freaking perfectly casted. Anyway, I like the fact that she had him on her platform. That was smart. And the fact that they're all alive and doing well, and they still communicate with each other, and she was able to basically show her appreciation to him. I love that. Everything about this was just feel good. I love it. Would you guys want to see a reboot of Living Single? If Queen Latifah is not going to be a part of it, then I don't know. Because Khadijah was like the glue that held everybody together, kind of. or the character that kind of held everybody together. I don't know. I would still watch even if Queen Latifah wasn't a part of it, but I would like to see like a reunion show or a reboot. Why the heck not? They all look fantastic. They all look great. And I think Reliving Single is the perfect name for a podcast. So shout out to them. Shout out to them. All right, up next, y'all. Sister Taraji. You know, let me let y'all watch the clip and I'm going to tell you what I think about Taraji. It's nothing bad. I like Taraji. But I don't know. It's just something I'm feeling. Taraji basically says that she cut off a lot of family and friends who were weighing her down. Listen, as you grow older in life and you obtain wisdom, you mature, you heal, because she talks about healing a lot. She said that she's on a healing journey. She's cut back drinking. When she was on the Breakfast Club, she talked about that. There's just some things that don't serve you anymore. And that may sound harsh, but it's the truth. You know, things don't stay the same. You know, you don't remain in contact with the same people that you did maybe 15, 20 years ago. If you're lucky enough to, then great. But these people were weighing her down, and she said she had to cut them off. So let's listen to what our cousin Taraji has to say. Like to hear it, here you go.
Of my life, it's okay. You weigh me down. You know, I can't carry your load and mine.
Right.
You know, family members even.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just couldn't do it anymore because it wasn't servicing me, and I wasn't feeling fulfilled.
I get it. And, you know, the few people that were in the comments basically says, I don't blame you, Taraji. You know, target emojis and 100 emojis. It's true. I mean, we've all probably felt like that at one point or many points in our life. When things weigh you down, people in their drama, you know, like I said, if you're someone who has zero tolerance for certain things, specifically like this, as you grow older, your tolerance is like damn near non-existence for that. So with that stuff. So like she said, she can't carry other people's load and hers. She has to think about herself. Now, this is what I wanted to say about Taraji. I don't know if I started paying attention to it when she was doing her press runs for what's the movie? Saw? Not Saw. Straw. The movie with the Tyler Perry movie that she was just in not too long ago. There's something that just seems so heavy about Taraji P. Like, I don't know if she's going through something that is like hard to shake, but I just see like a heaviness with her. Maybe she's physically tired because she's doing it. She works a lot. She has such a nice, like a great personality, like her character that she plays. You know, everybody plays a character. You know, when she's hosting and things like that, she just has a bright, bubbly, funny personality. Very funny, great actress. But every time I see her, she's on an interview or she's talking, it's oftentimes talking about healing, which is not bad, but she just seems so heavy. Like if you guys haven't seen her Breakfast Club interview that she did recently, go check it out. It's a good interview, but it's just, I don't know. I don't know what to call it. It's just a heaviness that I see with Taraji. And I wonder if she is really okay. And maybe someday she's not. And that's okay too. But I do see her. She does come across as someone who is doing the work. But there's something about Taraji that seems real heavy. And I don't know. I really hope everything's okay because I do like her projects. I didn't watch Straw. No, thank you. No shade, Taraji. I heard you did a great job. But you know, so I hope everything is all right with Taraji. But I agree with her. Some things, people, places, and things, you just have to leave where they're at, and there's nothing wrong with that. All right, moving along. Let me tell you something. The mayor of New York City is ghetto. Okay. I always call him ghetto in the group chat. You know, that's the kitchen table talk chat, and this has just proven me right, basically. Listen to what this man is saying. I don't know what the context of this is, but he's talking to a crowd, and he's just basically talking about what he does in the late night hours. Listen to Eric Adams. Like to hear it? Here it go.
This is my natural element. I'm not uncomfortable walking around my people. This is who I am. You go check me out 1 a.m. in the morning, I'm sitting in the back of a closed barbershop or beauty salon, smoking a cigar and drinking some Henny or a single malt scotch. That's who I am.
So for whatever reason, he thought that, I guess because of the crowd that he was speaking to, he thought that this was appropriate to talk about smoking cigars in the back of a beauty salon, drinking Henny and a single malt scotch. Please be advised that he's also associated with that bishop guy, the guy who claims to be a bishop from Brooklyn. I can't remember his name right now. The one that would wear those oversized suits and whatnot. Anywho, this comment says, this man is proof that anybody can get a job in government. And ain't that the damn truth? Because look who we got in the White House, and look at this mayor of New York City. There was another press conference that he did, and he compared himself to Jesus being crucified. And he said it with such conviction, and the crowd just ate it up. NYC, I'm going to keep y'all, New York, I'm going to keep y'all in prayer. This guy is just straight up ghetto. He also did an interview on The Breakfast Club. I think it was last year, if I'm not mistaken. And he's ghetto. He's hood. And his politics are very sketchy, and it's giving real scammy-like. Y'all pray for New York. In other New York news, Rock Nation and Caesars Entertainment, SL Green and Caesars Entertainment are teaming up to bring a casino to, of all places, Times Square. Okay, and their hopes is that this will boost local restaurants and revenue and revive New York City's economy. Revive the economy? You have people sleeping on the street in Times Square, eating out of the garbage, present day, in Times Square. This is going to be a disaster for New Yorkers, but it's also going to be very financially lucrative for the investors. Yes, I'm pretty sure this will bring jobs, but I doubt that they're going to hire the people in the area. And this will drive up sales for like the restaurants and the different bars and venues that are in that area of Times Square. So it's good for businesses, surrounding businesses, maybe, and maybe not. So I don't know. So some of the people in the comments were saying, in other words, it's going to be even more expensive, agreed, to live in New York. More people are going to be gentrified out of their neighborhoods. Crime is going to skyrocket while the big corps rake in all the dough from the rich people that live there and the tourists. Right. So their objective is to basically bring in to attract tourists, because a lot of people visit, New York all throughout the year, especially Christmas time, and they go to Times Square, right? So this is going to be a disaster. This sounds good for people who don't live in New York, but yeah, traffic is going to be insane. Traffic is already a nightmare. Okay. Someone else says, do they really need another reason for people to lose their money and go into debt, especially at NYC? People can barely afford a 1-bedroom there. Affordable housing should be the investment. True. That's true. This is going to drive up the cost of living for people in New York, though. It's already high. I don't know. You guys know that Nas is bringing a casino to Queens, right? He owns that casino, I think. If you know, you know. I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole as far as Jay-Z doing everything Nas does. But yeah, gentrification is going to be insane. It's going to be crazy. And the cost of everything in the area is going to skyrocket. When I saw this, I said to myself, I get why they would want to put a casino in the middle of Times Square. It's a great investment. It'll start off as a great investment until it won't be. The second thing I said is, what about Atlantic City? Why not revive Atlantic City? People go down to Atlantic City, used to go down to Atlantic City to gamble, to eat, to spend a weekend, all types of stuff. So why not put money into reviving Atlantic City instead of building this casino in Times Square? But hey, what do I know? It's their money. They can do with it what they wish. Okay. All right, guys, have you hit the like button? If you are just coming in, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please pay your admission fee by hitting the like button. All right. Next up, when I tell you that I'm tired of this story. I'm tired of this story. So it all started when whosoever put Chantel Christie on Basketball Wives. She was disrespectful to her mother the entire season. And on the last episode, it ended in fisticuffs. Okay. Jackie had to check that chin. All right. She had to check Chantel's chin. Chantel shoved Jackie. Some people are saying that Jackie touched her arm first. Then she shoved Chantel and Jackie hooked off on her daughter. Whatever. So ever since then, it's been, as social media has been in an uproar. You know, people have taken sides. Takari, who is listed on the pictured on the bottom there, that is Jackie's oldest daughter, who she didn't have. I don't know where they're at now, but didn't have the best relationship with growing up. And as Takari became an adult and a mother, Takari Lee wrote a book. She says she discussed things with Jackie before putting out the book. So she put out the book and just talked about her upbringing and how basically Jackie wasn't a good mother, okay, in a nutshell. However, Takari Lee does not agree with Chantel disrespecting their mother. And Takari Lee basically says, yeah, Jackie probably was a bad mother, but I'm not going to disrespect her. She doesn't deserve that. And she seemingly sided with Jackie in the midst of the entire kerfuffle, okay? So now, God, this girl, Chantel, is addressing Takari on social media, of course. And this is a long post. I read it already, but I'm not, just listen, just read along, okay? Takari Lee, there it is. The jealousy bug bit you. Now this all makes sense. Maybe you should have been messing with a prospect. Then you wouldn't be in the situation you in. Section 8, ain't it? That was nasty. That wasn't even a read. That was just nasty. And now everybody hopefully is seeing Chantel's character, right? She goes on to write, this constant commentary coming from you is giving obsessed, as if you need mommy's money and acceptance. Girl, when this is all said and done, you're going to be sitting right there in that same spot, miserable and mad at the world, waiting for the next opportunity to make a TikTok and chime in on things you claim you're so healed from. Taunting me for experiencing some of the same ish you did makes you no better than her. You want attention from me that you don't get from her. Here it is, sis. You want to comment on everything but the facts at hand. You too have reached a level of violence with Jackie because of her mistreatment. Mind you, Chantel is Jackie's daughter. She goes on, that's why you pulled a knife on her in Sacramento. You have 3 kids she's never met, but she wants legal rights to mine. Do you hear yourself? You've been waiting to hop on the hate train, and it's sad to see. I haven't spoke to you in 8 years. There's no reason for you to be on the internet making videos trying to be funny. We can both be hilarious, or you can stop trying to provoke a reaction out of me and just leave me alone. You out here on the front line standing up for someone that's never stood up for you. I need to heal, and so do you, Buki. I'm not saying this to be funny at all. I'm being so very serious. I wonder if Chantel Christie has an undiagnosed mental illness. And the reason I'm saying that is because this is not the first post that she posted online. She posted a reaction to the episode and pretty much doubled down on the fact that she was aggressive with her mother. And it makes me wonder, like, does she realize that this makes no sense, what she's saying? Especially given the behavior that she displayed on the show. Takari doesn't want her kids around her mama because she has traumatized her. If someone has traumatized you, why would you want to be around them, especially have your children around them? And again, Takari doesn't have any malice against her mother. She acknowledges that her upbringing was traumatic, and she also says that she's not going to disrespect her mother. And she also said that she's not even going to call her mother a liar. You know, she said that Jackie has a different recollection of things. Okay. Listen, they're two different people. They both have the same mama. The way that they choose to express their dissatisfaction with their upbringing is solely their right. Chantel, if she wants to take the disrespectful route, that's her choice. If Takari doesn't, that's her choice as well. It doesn't negate the fact that both of them experienced trauma at the hands of their parents. Not taking that away from them. But this post, it really doesn't make any sense. So let's see what some of the comments say. The toxicity is making me sick, someone writes. Someone else says, this is nasty and dark. Chantel needs to open up her comments on her page. Yeah, because she has her comments off. Of course you do, you know. Chantel, you are selling your soul right now. Internet validation is not worth it. Keep some of this stuff amongst yourselves. This will only come back to bite you in the ASS. Okay? We're the son, LOL. He be in his own world. And you know, I saw after I completed my this one is the gif of Chantel digging a hole for herself. Someone said, "My God, I'm gonna need you to capitalize that G on God." No shade. This is a Tyler Perry movie I've seen before. Yeah, I'm sure it is. If it's not, then it will be. Guys, I hate this picture. This picture below this caption here. I hate that picture is circulating. It's just so bad. You know, I understand that people are laughing about it. That's your sense of humor. That's fine. No judgment here. But like, this is just so evil. Mother and daughter duking it out. It's just so evil. It is. So this caption reads, see, this why she got rocked and she should have gave her another one. This little B is disrespectful as hell. I know she never got spanked. You know, I thought the same thing. I'm like, she didn't get disciplined as a kid. She didn't get spanked as a kid because she forms her mouth to say the worst-ish possible. F no. Someone else wrote, she admitted to being a whore because she didn't what help with housing. Okay. I don't know what that means. No shade. Who admitted to being a whore? Anywho, so this whole, and you know, the season finale is next week. So I'm curious to see how the actual season is going to end. I'm ready for this show to end. They're not having a reunion, which is fine. Also, people are urging Basketball Wives to fire Chantel. They said they don't want to see her back. And Takari sat down with Mims from Make It Make Sense. Mims is the acronym for Make It Make Sense on his YouTube channel. And like I said, I did see some of the interview, but I got to circle back and finish. And one of the things that Takari addressed was possible sexual assault at a young age. So Chantel was pretty much accusing Takari of touching her inappropriately when they would play house when they were little. So Takari says, no, that's not true. She said she didn't do anything to her. She said she doesn't know if she experienced that when she was younger. And if she did, it wasn't her. And I'm saying to myself, this is one big mess. And it's like, why is this being handled so trashy? This is really trashy, y'all. If you experience these things, what would cause you to open up your phone and go on any one of these social media apps and type these things on social media instead of sitting down with someone for you to first try to heal and then addressing family? But again, we don't know what happened behind the scenes, but still, this is just so trashy. And I hate that for everybody involved. I'm off that. Moving along. This ain't no better, y'all. Can you believe this? Anything is possible, but Smokey Robinson is facing new allegations as his fifth accuser files sexual battery. What? This is according to the Jasmine brand. Fifth accuser. Y'all heard this before? I didn't. So law enforcement sources say the accuser spoke with a deputy last Wednesday at the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, formally reporting her allegations. There's no further information about the details of her claim at this time. All 5 accusers have now filed reports with the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. So Robinson became the subject of a criminal investigation in May, really? After 4 women accused him of sexual assault. Mercy. How old is Smokey Robinson? His attorney, Christopher Frost, tells TMZ, it's not surprising to us that in the context of very public allegations by the 4 interconnected Jane Does and their shared attorneys, no matter how untrue, news like this might emerge. It's one of the risks of being a celebrity that others will take the same approach. So Smokey Robinson's attorney previously told TMZ that the police reports were filed only after the women launched a $50 million civil lawsuit, calling it a strategic move rather than a legitimate claim. He said that Robinson welcomed the investigation, which is still ongoing. Oh my. 5 Jane Does? You think this is a shakedown? Or you think Smokey Robinson was living foul? How long ago did this happen? But then there's limited to no details. So we'll see. Well, listen, whatever comes out will definitely come out, okay, into the public. All right, y'all, moving along. The man, the myth, the legend. No, Michael Jackson is finally getting a movie in theaters. Okay, this has been a long time coming. So his biopic, Michael, is scheduled to be released in April. I read the Deadline article, April 2026, that is, in theaters, okay? The film will debut in theaters on Friday, April 24th, 2026, with a special IMAX presentation available exclusively in select locations. The film is directed by Antoine Fuqua and produced by Oscar-winning Graham King, whose previous hit Bohemian Rhapsody brought the story of Freddie Mercury to the big screen and grossed over $910 million globally. Okay. Now, who is playing Michael Jackson? His nephew. What the heck is his name again? I should have wrote this down. His nephew, Jermaine's son. What the heck is his name? Is it Jafar? I think is it Jafar Jackson? It's Jermaine's son is playing Michael Jackson. And fine, handsome Coleman Domingo is playing Joe Jackson. Okay. I love that. I think that was perfectly casted. And Nia Long will be playing Katherine Jackson. I want to see this movie, y'all. Now, let me tell you something. Okay, we already saw the Jackson's American Dream. Okay, you guys remember that 3-part movie or that 3-hour movie? Now, this movie was said to originally be 3.5 hours, but they had to cut it down because it was too long, and they did cut out certain scenes because some people weren't happy with, for instance, one of Michael Jackson's accusers. There was like a segment in the movie where the first accuser, where Michael Jackson settled out of court, they pretty much axed that out of the movie. So they shaved the movie down. How long is it going to be? I would sit in a movie theater for 3 hours to watch The Jacksons An American Dream is a 3.5 hour movie. I remember when it premiered on TV, it was like 3 nights. It was in 3 different parts. Remember that? But y'all think Nia Long gonna be a good Katherine Jackson? You know, ain't nobody gonna do it like our auntie Angela Bassett. Go to bed, Joseph. Okay? So I'm looking forward to this, though. I think Coleman Domingo is gonna do a fantastic job. I really like him as an actor. He's such a classy, debonair, dapper man, you know? So good for him. I guarantee, I'm making a prediction, an early prediction. I think Coleman Domingo is probably gonna win an Oscar for this movie. I think he'll win an Oscar for this, but I can't wait to see it. Hopefully there'll be no more delays. This movie was pushed back twice, so now they have an actual solidified release date, April 24th, 2026. Are you excited, or y'all just gonna wait until it comes out on streaming services? I can't wait to hear the numbers that this is gonna do. Rest in peace, Michael Jackson. All right, up next, Tyson Beckford. Fun fact, okay? When I was a young little princess, all right, I'm trying to remember how old I was. I was probably like 10, 11, maybe 12. Around, I had when I say the biggest crush, this was my first quote unquote celebrity crush, Tyson Beckford. When I tell you every Essence, Word Up magazine, Rap Beat or Wrap Up, whatever the magazine was called, I would pull out the poster and hang them all over my room. Okay, Mr. Polo. I love me some Tyson. And then as I got older, I don't remember what it was that I was watching. But I never heard him talk or interview. I always saw his picture and I thought he was so fine. He still is. He's still a good looking man. Don't remember where I saw him, but he was like talking and doing an interview and I just was so turned off. It was like goofy, but not in a good way. It was like a juvenile goofball, cornball. No shade, Tyson. After that, no, it was a chop for me. Okay, as the girls say, it was a chop. He still looks great. So he was on the Breakfast Club earlier this week, last week, whenever it was. So this is a clip where he was talking about Wendy Williams. So he went down memory lane and it just reminded me why. And I don't think I checked for him ever since. He's promoting his new show, King's Court. It's like a spinoff for Queen's Court, where basically him and a couple of other guys, it's a house full of women, and the same show that Tamar was on and Evelyn was on. So this is the male version of that. Anywho, so he's talking about, Wendy Williams in this particular clip. So let's take a look and a listen at what he had to say, and I'll share my thoughts. Like to hear? Here you go.
Show was it trying to kill all of that stuff right there.
Yeah.
She's not around no more. She's not on radio no more. But we know
Wendy Williams.
Yeah. That one started a rumor. I don't know why she started that rumor on me, but you know what? Karma hit your ass. Good for you.
God damn.
It's her birthday.
I'm not. Hey,
Damn.
no F's given. I'm gonna try not to swear.
Y'all had to
That
make
on TV
up.
earlier.
Yeah, it's her birthday.
No
Y'all
F's
celebrating her
given.
birthday this week and all that?
I don't give up. You
Tyson said, I don't care.
And me and Tresh feel the same way. Her karma's come to her. You just talking people business, making up stuff. You know what I'm saying? Why? To get clout, radio? Nah, stop that.
Hopefully I won't have to cut this part of the I just realized sometimes they be flagging. Hopefully I won't have to cut this part of the show out, but let's continue.
You want to know what's
Stop
interesting?
Because I called Kevin in the street one day. Yeah, Kevin, you don't want this.
Her ex-husband?
Yeah, and then he gonna call like all my Jamaican crew and say, yo, go done the boy. Them say,
What?
oh, Becky? No, sir. I would brethren that.
Where you caught him at?
Caught him at the car wash.
In Jersey?
Yeah, buddy.
And what happened?
Had that Glock on me.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell's going on?
Oh, I stay with it.
In the
I stay with it.
You used to do that back in the day
I
too?
stay with it.
I didn't know.
What the hell?
I stay with it. I got license for Jersey, license for New York. I got license for everything.
All right, that's enough of that. This just brought back so many memories as to why I was like, yeah, see that, like that goofball little kid. Oh gosh, you look great though, and yeah, no. Let's look at let's read some of these comments. Someone says, so we can talk about alleged stuff online all day, but y'all got mad at Wendy for doing it on TV and getting paid. LOL. Love you, Wendy. And she didn't lie. We can see it. Oh dear. For those of you who don't know, when Wendy Williams was on the radio, Wendy pretty much had that heat, okay? Wendy Williams always said if she doesn't have hardcore proof, and she never reveals her sources, if she didn't have hardcore proof of the information that was being given to her, she would not talk about it. She had to have proof. And I guess that's probably why she was never sued when she was on the radio for defamation. So Wendy was one of the people who said that Tyson Beckford was gay. She outed is that outing? I guess he says he's not gay, but who knows? Okay. I don't know. I just don't like that whole good for your AWS karma. Okay. So he feels obviously that Wendy got her karma because she said he was gay. She said other people was gay too, but Radio Wendy was not liked by many. She She was not. And it was due to her gossip style, reporting. It was called gossip, but again, Wendy Williams said she started doing allegedly when she got on TV. But did she say allegedly on the radio? Sometimes she would in her later years. But she kept her receipts in case she ever had to go to court. You have to go through discovery. That's probably why that's why people probably never took her to court when she was on the radio. I don't know. Maybe they didn't care. It was a different time back then. Charlemagne goes on to, in the interview, he goes on to mention that he did have dinner with Wendy. Lauren LaRosa was there as well. And Wendy herself said that she doesn't know, but she feels like she's getting her karma because of how she was back in the day. Whatever. You can't tell people nothing. Like, the way people think karma works, it's really sick. And sometimes they use it as a punishment because people like to see people punished. Wicked people anyway, evil people like to see people punished. They like to see people suffer, oh well, Let's read some of these other comments. Someone else said, Tyson dragging it because I don't care what no one say. I don't want Wendy to change. Yes, she was messy as F. But she wasn't the only messy talk show host. And most of the time, Wendy told the truth. She was one of the first to expose Diddy. Yes, she was on the radio. So much so that he got her the F up out of New York. I remember that. That's why Wendy went over there to Philly for a little while. Yes, he did. And I remember her talking about R. Kelly back in the day on the radio. I used to come home every day in grammar school and listen to Wendy Williams. And in high school. I remember her talking about Bill Cosby also. And it's so crazy that a lot of these things ended up coming out years with a Z later. And I would always say, I remember Wendy talking about that. I remember Wendy talking about that. That whole rumor about Janet Jackson having a baby with one of the DeBarge brothers. I remember when he called in on the show and was talking about it. That was many, many, many moons ago. But I first heard about Bill Cosby, R. Kelly from Wendy Williams. Young. Ain't got no business listening to none of that. Anyway. So, yeah, she was the first to expose Diddy before all these scandals finally came out. And second, Tyson already cleared it up. And I swear him and her squashed it years ago. Did they? I don't know if I remember that. And if they did squash it years ago, then he corny for that. Let's see. Did they say this? Like they always want to come for her like she's the only one speaking like this. You don't hear none of the white people ever talk bad on her. And she used to drag them. True tea. Wendy talked about everybody. And Charlemagne really irks me, man. I don't trust him at all. He really, really, really irks me. I remember when he came on her show, Charlemagne was like her little co-host. Everybody, when I tell you people in New York and New Jersey couldn't stand Charlemagne. They wanted him gone. With the quickness, they wanted him gone. I don't know. He has every right to feel how he feels, though. I just didn't like that. I just didn't like that good for your AWS. I don't know. That felt weird to me. Anyway, moving along. Another Wendy story, y'all. So Wendy Williams' lawyer is gearing up to sue whoever is responsible for putting Wendy in this guardianship. Okay. And according to this lawyer, if she is not released from her guardianship, then he wants this to be moved to a jury trial. I talked about this earlier this week in one of the Hot Topics videos. And I said, I don't see anything wrong with a jury trial. That would be interesting because I want to know how the heck Wendy ended up in this position. Where's her money? And also want to know, like, how much money she got left over. Not that I'm a pocket watcher, but, like, is she financially okay? Regardless of whatever people think about her, like people like Tyson and whoever else, she worked for her money. And she didn't beg nobody, steal or rob from nobody. She worked for her money. And there are podcasts out now with men who are not worse than Wendy, but they be out here straight up lying and making a bag. Anyway, I want y'all to take a look at this video with her and her lawyer. Reason being is because I don't know if I feel like Wendy should be completely out of some form of guardianship. So you guys take a look and you be the judge. Like to hear? Here you go.
You look so different outside your work clothes.
Yeah, I got my ASAP Rocky suit, huh?
I love that. So, we have to ask you, Joe, what's next? I mean, what's next in trying to get her out of the guardianship? I know it's a very big question, but...
What's next is hopefully justice. I mean, it's been so long, and I'm not a guardianship attorney, I'm Wendy's personal attorney, but this process is really despicably slow because she's in a facility. And Wendy's Wendy. We've had conversations over the course of 6 months. She's the same Wendy Williams that you know from TV.
Yeah.
Right? And so she belongs in a facility like, I belong in a facility. Well, actually, that might be a good example. Some might argue I belong in a facility. But this is a person who is control of her faculties and is a great human being. And it sickens me, honestly. This is not even about a case for me. It's about a cause. And I'm going to do everything.
I just had a birthday and I'm still in guardianship. If that doesn't say enough, I don't know what does.
Now I have a question. How many other people have reached out to you asking for your help? Because when she had her protest outside of her building, a lot of people were coming up to me saying, I support Wendy because I'm going through this too with someone I love. Have you gotten phone calls from people?
Oh, so many. Right now, my focus is on Wendy, and I have to get her through this.
Right.
I'll deal with that later, but I will tell you this. It is scary, this guardianship process. Once you get in the vortex of the guardianship proceeding, it's hard to get out. Even if you're like Wendy.
Yeah, famous. Everyone knows her.
Believe me, I had Presto Bistados because I am allowed. It's not because I should be, I look beautiful because I work out, because that's all I do in the building, and I know that for a fact.
Right.
I've been working out for years. However, that's all I do when I'm locked in this building.
Right, and I have a question. I know it's kind of a tricky question, but can we see a potential lawsuit down the line, given the way she
Listen, those who are responsible for her status, her basically incarceration, will be held accountable. There's no question about that. My goal right now, and the priority, is to get her back home. Wherever home is, not there. Where she can come and go as she pleases.
Right here in New York, where I'm working, and you know what kind of stuff I want to do. As a matter of fact, we just met somebody very familiar with. Well,
she wants to get back to work, and she should get back to work.
Right.
People
and
love
we
her.
Miss you.
I get more calls in support of her than I've ever had for any client, ever.
We missed you, go.
All right, y'all. I don't know. Look at this comment. Love Wendy to death and want her to get out of this situation, but everyone has to keep it a buck. This is not the same Wendy from TV or radio. However, this ain't the Wendy that the guardianship is portraying to need a supervision 24/7 and in a facility. Okay? This comment also, Wendy is clearly not okay. She's in the background rambling about things that aren't relevant. Couch Wendy would not be going on about working out. I want Wendy free, but she clearly needs help and not to be working. So you guys saw when he kissed her on her hand, that was kind of like a signal. All right, baby girl, I got this. Let me talk. So as you can see, that she's talking about things that are not necessarily relevant to the conversation that the interviewer and the lawyer are having. So I feel like Wendy needs some sort of a supervision, but she doesn't need to feel like she's like in a jail. But again, what's really going on? We may never find out, but what's really going on? So like I said, she might need a guardian, but one that actually assists her, while allowing her to maintain some level of normal. You know what I'm saying? Even though her normal now is different. This is a new normal. She should have people around her who care about her. Why is she still in New York? Maybe they're gearing up for the lawsuit. Why is she not in Florida with her family? I don't know. I don't understand. So as you've seen, her lawyer is ready to sue for her freedom from the guardianship, but it doesn't seem to me that Wendy can be left alone. Like she can't live by herself. I don't think it's a good idea for her to live by herself. She should have like a companion or a caretaker, maybe. Maybe guardian is not the right word. I don't know. I don't know. A caretaker, maybe. Someone who is handling her physically, helping her out, so on and so forth, keeping her company, and someone handling all of her bills. Ay. Her cognition, obviously, not the best. This is so sad, y'all. I really like Wendy. If you've been watching me for a while, then you know that Wendy is my girl. I've been rocking with Wendy since I was in grammar school, when Wendy was on the radio. After school, turn on Wendy, talk on the phone, do my homework, and sometimes watch Sister Act 2. That's another one of my favorite. That's one of my all-time favorite movies. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. She just need not be around anybody that could obviously exploit her. And she has been around a lot of people who have exploited her. So it's just like, what the H? What the F? Why can't she be in Florida with her family? Her father is like 90 something, like 92, 93. Why can't she be around her family? Something is fishy. And Joe seems like he has good intentions, but I don't trust him either. It's just too many people around Wendy that has been taking advantage of her. I don't know, y'all. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what you think, okay? So we had a nice, packed What the Friday show. Thank you for stopping by. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you. If you're watching the replay, please be sure to hit the like button. That is your admission fee. Drop down in the comments and share your thoughts. I want to welcome all of the new Royal Family members. Welcome to the channel. If you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. Okay, we would love to have you a part of the Royal Family. Okay, so the What the Friday show takes place usually every Friday. Okay. The goal is to have this video up and running by 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be sure that your notification bell is on. Once you hit the subscribe button, check back with the channel, take a look around, familiarize yourself with the other videos if you are new here. All right, we're like a family. We're a family, like a giant tree. Okay. All right, y'all. I hope y'all have a splendid weekend. Happy Friday once again. Be safe. And be cautious too, okay? And use wisdom, okay? Because there's a lot of dumb circulating around and y'all don't want to catch the dumb, okay? All right, y'all, I'm signing off. I'll be back soon for something, though. I love you for watching, and I will talk to you later.